think that's where we have to start. That's obviously nobody wants to get relegated. You're in this weird situation where it hasn't been mathematically confirmed, but everybody knows there's not going to be a 16-goal swing or whatever it needs to be. How much do you have to just look to the future? How much do you have to assess what's gone wrong, try and put that right, and try and do something that you can do something about, which is the summer and next season?
I mean, you just said it there. Like, we've got to do all those things. Look to the future now. Learn from this whole season, and obviously plan going forward. And obviously, it's not been a successful season. It's been upsetting. It's been hard. But yeah, we've got to really put it behind us as soon as possible. Obviously, we've got to see the season out properly. Game on the weekend that we'll want to go down there and win. I think we owe that to the fans, definitely. But yeah, it's important that we do learn from our mistakes this year and quickly try and go forward, try and redevelop as a club, as players, and obviously try our best to put things right next year.
It is obviously water under the bridge and you can't do too much about what has happened in the past. How much analysis and how much conversation has there been about what's gone wrong amongst the players?
There's been a bit, but but there's no point dwelling too much. Obviously, it's all about learning, trying to get better, trying to do things right. But there's definitely no point dwelling on certain things and looking back on certain games and stuff like that, saying what ifs and stuff. But yeah, it's tough. Like hearing it, obviously, because there has been so many moments in the season where you look back and think, wow. But it is what it is. It is now. We're just gonna have to deal with it and start planning for the future. But it's still important that we're still in the right frame of mind for this game this weekend. We've got a game to honour this weekend, and we really want to win it, because it'll be a really long day if we go down there with the wrong attitude and wrong mentality. So let's get this last game out of the way, and then obviously everyone will start focusing on themselves, their contracts, and where they're going to be and what they're doing. But then as a club, we've got to make sure that we're in the right place and right frame of mind to have a good goal next year.
There's an awful lot of players, not just at this club, but obviously in the circumstances that this club finds it in, it's particularly acute.
Yeah.
It's about futures, isn't it? It's about where you play your football, where your job's going to be next season, who's going to be paying the bills, all those kind of things.
Yeah.
Is that very much a factor? Does it increase the uncertainty, change in division?
Yeah, it definitely will do. I don't think anyone really plans for it. I mean, it's tough, isn't it? Like it's a mad factor that it comes into our lives, and we do have to factor it in. But the reality is there now, and I think the quicker we process that, the better it will be for us as players. It's one of them things. Like, it's been a tough year. It's been a very tough year for all of us. However, it's not the end of the world. As mad as it sounds, it's just not the end of the world. Like, there still can be positive next year. Hopefully we can keep the squad together as much as possible, because we have got a good squad. And when we get all our players back and try and keep players fit for next season, I think we'll be a threat. So it's important that we do stay positive and look forward to the future and try and get things right. And obviously, like I said, I've said it already, it's about learning, trying to get better. And hopefully we'll come back in pre-season, have a great pre-season, and be ready to roll and get it going.
Clearly it's outside of your control as players, but is there a confidence? Do you have confidence as an individual, and do the players as a group have confidence that if you're given the opportunity, there is the potential to bounce back?
Definitely. I'm such a positive person. I go out to every single game, no matter who we're playing, believing we're going to win the game, because obviously I believe in myself and I believe in the players that I play with. As a group, I think it's a very similar group in terms of having that positivity and believing. and we all know we've got a good squad. I think it's important that we try and keep that squad together next year, and there's no reason why we can't do it next year. I mean, it's not going to be easy, but it's all about giving everything, hard work. I mentioned learning it. It's just so important that we quickly put this behind us and move forward and try and do things right. And I think we'll have a chance.
And I guess you're never too old to learn, are you?
Definitely not. Learn every single game. Every single game, every time you go out there, there's always something that happens, mistakes, good things, positive things. You take them on board every single game. You're never too old to learn. And I think that's important for players that have that kind of mentality, that we can always get better, and everyone should strive to try and do that, definitely.
We've had, yourself included, experienced players sitting here throughout this relegation battle, fully aware of what it means and the implications and all that stuff. For younger players, can this be an opportunity? If you're a player coming through the ranks, going into League Two, can that be a chance for them to kickstart and cement themselves?
100%. I mean, this club's always given opportunities to young players, and our gaffer's always done that. He's been really good for that. But obviously, with us effectively going down into a lower league, it will probably provide more opportunities for younger players to try and show what they can do. Obviously, it depends on our squad next year as well, who we can keep, who we can recruit. There might even be more opportunities. Regarding to this season, this year, it's an experience, whether it be a negative or positive one. It's an experience for some of these younger players as well. It's been tough for them obviously as well to go through. Some of them been thrown in, like playing their first games this year, their senior games this year. The positive they have to take out of it is the bad opportunities, and they have to try and strive and get better as well. I feel like I'm repeating myself, but it's the same sort of things. But yeah, definitely these young players can definitely learn from them and be positive and be thankful for the opportunities that they've got. And obviously, it's massive getting the experience behind them, playing serious football, and hopefully, yeah, it'll be a positive thing for a lot of the players here, and hopefully it'll be taken into next season, and they can all develop and get better from it.
And just lastly, for you personally, how big a summer is this, given how truncated and how stop-start and how exasperating this season must have been with injury?
Yeah, it's not just the injury. The injury has obviously been a massive thing for me this year. It's been so tough. Obviously, I've spoke about that before. I'm looking forward to my summer now. Obviously, we know our fate. I think it's important for me personally to get my recovery in now, early doors, and then start working towards a full pre-season, hopefully. And that should get me instead for what I would hope would be a successful season. But I mean, I'm not the only one who's had injuries this year. We've had some serious ones all year. I think it's important that we all go away and do the right things and try and prevent it from happening. Obviously, we know it's never always like that, but it's important for all players, especially the injured ones who've had serious injuries this year, to enjoy the summer, the little time off, and then work hard wherever they can to make sure their bodies are right, conditioned right for the pre-season. Hopefully, get a successful pre-season in, and then we all go again.